Hello, this is Ian Hardy, President of Optima Juris, the international deposition agency. I'm coming to you live from beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. It is evening here, and we are giving a live recap of the STARcon16 conference. Once again, that's a very important national court reporting conference put on by STAR, which is the Society for the Technological Advancement of Reporting. The conference takes place every year. This year it's been in Scottsdale, Arizona. The weather has been amazing. The attendance has been very good, and I've been very fortunate to be here. This is my first STAR conference, and I've really enjoyed myself. Everybody's been very hospitable here. It's been taking place at the Fire Sky Resort, which is a very nice, very pleasant resort hotel here in Scottsdale. I've really enjoyed the food and the hospitality of the staff, and I think it was a very good choice for this conference. So today is Saturday. The conference started on Thursday. It's been a three-day conference, and every day has been packed with very informative sessions and a lot of great networking opportunities. Today, being the final day, was very full. It started out with a breakfast with the exhibitors, and I'd like to right now extend a thank you to the sponsors and exhibitors who made this conference possible. They did a great job, and the participants were treated to breakfast. There was a board of directors meeting early in the morning for all of the STAR board and the volunteers, the working court reporters, who work very hard for their community and for this organization. Just like at the NCRA, STAR also has a lot of volunteers who work really hard to formulate what the strategy is and what the important topics are, what they want STAR to be as an association, and what their objectives are. So that took place this morning. There were two sessions afterwards. One of the sessions had to do with using technology in depositions, because remember, STAR is all about technology. It's where court reporting and technology meet, and there's always a lot of very fascinating discussion about applying technology to the world of legal depositions, to court reporting. In this case, the session was called Technologies and Depositions: What is being used and how to introduce and educate the client. That was put on by three speakers: Adam Weaver, Rhonda Jensen, and Bobby Barrett. And I'd like to give a shout out to all three of them and say thank you for that session and that presentation. It's a very interesting approach to think about, particularly from the perspective of firm owners or reporters who are selling to clients, how you can get the attorneys and the legal professionals to understand what the latest technologies are and what can be offered in order to take advantage of that and to improve their cases and really push the industry further along. A lot of technology is there, but there is some built-in obstacles to applying the latest technology in the world of court reporting. Some of those obstacles are jurisdictional. There are rules that different jurisdictions and different courts set about what can be done with a transcript, what can be done with legal video. There's also the physical and technological setup at the courts themselves. Sometimes the courts can only handle certain technologies, and oftentimes those are relatively old or outdated technologies. Furthermore, there is not just the courts, but also trial presentation, which again is often based on old technologies. So there's a big effort to educate clients as well as to improve the rules to allow technology to really be employed in order to save costs and to make the work of attorneys and of paralegals, of legal secretaries, more effective in litigation. And that's something that STAR is all about. I learned a lot about that at this conference, and it was very interesting for me. Again, this is my first STAR conference, and I was very, very fortunate to participate. I can't wait till next year. Currently, with that session, there was a choice. There was another session at the same time, or roughly thereabouts, which dealt with case catalyst training. For those of you who don't know, case catalyst is a stenography or court reporting software, which is used by court reporters, and it's one of the most popular ones. And there's a lot of training and a lot of insight that reporters can gain here at the STAR conference about that particular software package. So that was happening as well this morning. There was a refreshment break at 10:30. There was a prize drawing, and I wanted to send out my congratulations to all the winners. They had some amazing prizes at this conference. Among them, there was an Apple Watch, there was an iPad mini, so some really, really good stuff. I have to tell you, I unfortunately did not win. I did get a raffle ticket because I could really use an Apple Watch. So if anybody from STAR is listening and nobody claimed the Apple Watch or the iPad mini, you know, I'm here, you know how to reach me, and maybe we could work something out. You know, I could buy a few other raffle tickets, something like that. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Moving along, there were more sessions happening later in the morning. At 11 o'clock, there were two concurrent sessions. The first was mainly oriented towards firm owners and court reporters who own their own business or are starting their own business for reporting. And very often when you do that, you're put in a position where you need to interview and hire job applicants to create jobs. And it was a very interesting session put on by two attorneys, Cindy Freeland and Renee Shore, who specialize in employment law. And the title of the session was The New Hire Process, Onboarding Pitfalls That Doom the Relationship from the Beginning. And the big takeaway from this particular session was how important it is as an employer to start things off on the right footing, particularly legally, to make sure that you are being very clear, that you're not over-promising things to the employee, and that you're dotting the I's, crossing the T's, making sure that you follow all of the legal requirements, which can be relatively complex. And the two speakers, Cindy and Renee, were very helpful in explaining exactly how that worked. We did a little bit of reporting from the conference and sent out a few of the key points on social media. So please feel free to follow up with the speakers if you have any questions, if you happen to be a court reporter or a legal professional who is in the position of hiring, or any type of small business owner. It's very important and not quite so obvious about what you need to do when you're hiring somebody in order to do it by the book. There's a lot of rules there. So that was a very useful and informative session. And concurrently with that, there was case catalyst training, which was taking place. Again, that was being handled by Cindy Lynch, who also handled the previous case catalyst session. And that was frequented by all of the hardcore, extremely skilled court reporters with whom I've had the honor of sharing this conference. Me, myself, as a legal videographer and firm owner, I was very fortunate, felt very welcomed. But STAR is really about reporting. But that doesn't mean that it's not of interest to other legal professionals, and I'll have more on that in just a few minutes. I think, and I believe strongly, that legal professionals from all stripes, people in the legal industry who are involved in any way with litigation, with court reporting, the discovery process, would learn a lot at the major court reporting conferences, namely STAR and the NCRA National Convention. They are both very, very informative, and obviously for reporters, it's their organization, their convention. But if you are a paralegal, a legal secretary, a litigation attorney, legal videographer, firm owner, such as myself, it's very eye-opening, and you learn a tremendous amount. And the most important thing is you get to spend time with, network with, connect with the really wonderful professional court reporters that we have in this business. At STAR, I will say that the caliber of the reporters has been very high. There are some of the best reporters in the country here, and I was very fortunate and honored to be able to spend time with them. And some of them I know in person and are good friends. And if you just really think about, I'm talking about the highest qualified court reporters with the highest certifications, the highest page rates, the speed at which a really strong court reporter can transcribe testimony, it's really mind-blowing. These are professionals at the top of their game. These are superstars. They're like professional athletes, all-stars. And it's a real honor to be able to spend time with them. And again, I'm very fortunate to count many of them as my friends and respected colleagues. And so that's something for me that I really enjoyed here at STAR, and I enjoy at court reporting conventions. And that's why I encourage other legal professionals who are in some way associated with the litigation discovery process, the process of depositions, or international arbitrations, because that's often covered by court reporters as well, to get involved, to come here and see what the business is like, see what the concerns are, what the topics are, and above all, what the latest technologies are, because that's going to be very helpful for your own work, particularly for litigation attorneys, paralegals, people who want to use and harness the best possible technology to have their game as strong as possible in the deposition and discovery phase. I would definitely recommend that they come here. The people are very hospitable. STAR is amazing, and the organization of the conference was really nice. So just wanted to send out that recommendation. After the late morning session, there was lunch. People had lunch on their own. And then there was another session in the afternoon. And the afternoon was basically technical training for court reporters, specifically on the case catalyst system. And that was directed all day long by Cindy Lynch. At 1:30 p.m. there was case catalyst training, edit tips for experienced catalyst users, and then there was a break between 3 and 3:30 where I was sitting by the swimming pool. A beautiful, beautiful day here. The weather has been amazing this entire time. And then after that there was case catalyst training, custom real-time editing. So with that, at 5 p.m. the conference officially came to a close. Many of the participants are already either on a plane or they're back at home, wherever they might be on the west coast of the United States, east coast, Midwest. We have people from all over the nation who are here for these past 3 days. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you to those who have been following our live updates. I hope that it has been helpful. And it's been my first STAR conference, and I really enjoyed it, and I found it extremely informative. So now the conference has wound down, and this is the last evening, still here in lovely Scottsdale, Arizona, coming to you live. Once again, I'm Ian Hardy, president of Optima Juris, the international deposition agency, and we're happy to provide live updates about the conference for those of you who couldn't make it, for legal professionals such as court reporters, legal videographers, firm owners, attorneys, paralegals, and legal secretaries who couldn't make it this time. We tried to keep everybody updated, and we've been coming at you live regularly throughout the day, sending live tweets and updates about some of the sessions, and I'm just really, really glad to be here and to be able to provide that to everybody. A few takeaways from the conference. Now that it's all winding down, and again, this was my first STAR conference, and really enjoyed it, I wanted to share a few conclusions and observations that I made about the conference as kind of a newcomer and an outsider, and from my position giving live updates about it. Number one, I felt that the conference had a really good buzz happening. All the participants seemed really happy with it, and I want to draw attention to the fact that STAR is composed of a lot of great volunteers. There are a lot of staffers who were involved in making this conference happen, and everybody did a wonderful job. I'd like to just take a moment to personally thank STAR, to thank the board members and all of the reporters who volunteer their time to make it happen. It was a great conference, a very interesting subject matter, and furthering the advancement of technology is very important. And as a firm owner and legal videographer, I'm very much on board with that. This was my first STAR conference. I was really impressed, number one, by the high caliber of all the reporters present, the participants, the volunteers, the board members, and as I said earlier, I feel very fortunate and very honored to be among you all, the hardworking reporters, particularly the very high-level reporters who were almost all the big names in reporting were here at this conference. And it's wonderful people, friendly folks. There's nothing like the court reporting industry. You know, the legal industry is this amazing, huge industry with very personable, intelligent people. And I've always found the court reporting segment, court reporters, videographers, to be very warm, friendly people, very sociable, and I've always enjoyed that. And there was a great feeling, great vibe here at the conference over the past 3 days. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody once again for being so friendly and hospitable for me, as this was my first time here at STAR. And thirdly, I just want to say once again that my experience at STARcon16 has underscored for me the importance of this kind of conference, of STAR, as well as the NCRA conferences, not just to court reporters, but to legal professionals who are involved in the litigation and the discovery process, who want to know more and who want to really up their game and really understand how they can use the latest technologies, understand, talk to reporters, talk to videographers, understand what can be done, what we go through professionally when we're working, what our concerns are, what we see for the future. That can be a big advantage in making your case. And so I do recommend STAR to all legal professionals to whom it is of interest. And I encourage all of our viewers here who have been watching my live updates to consider attending next year. It was a lot of fun. And so I'd like to close with that recommendation to attend STAR. I enjoyed it very much. I'm looking forward to future professional conferences in this industry. This wonderful, very unique, very human, warm industry because of the people and the relationships that make it happen. Really wonderful people, and I'm really, really happy to be here and to have met everybody. A lot of new faces and a lot of people who I knew from prior conferences. We are here at Optima Juris going to be covering the next big industry conference, which is the NCRA Firm Owners Conference in February. So I'll be there and I'll be sending live updates. So this closes our coverage and actually the conference itself of the 2016 STARcon conference in Scottsdale, Arizona, right next to Phoenix. Beautiful weather, wonderful venue, and again, a big thanks to everybody who organized this wonderful conference, to all of the participants, and I look forward to seeing everybody the next time around. I'm Ian Hardy, President of Optima Juris, the international deposition agency, providing live coverage of STARcon16. I'm signing out, but I do hope to see everybody again very soon. Thank you very much. Good night.